Want an easy way to see if you could save money on car insurance? Geico gives you 3. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Go online to geico.com or stop by the Geico office nearest you. 3 ways you could save 15% or more.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do. Every weekday over the airwaves of ESPN Radio. That's 98.7 FM in New York City. That's 710 ESPN LA. And, of course, nationwide over the airwaves of ESPN Radio. Sirius XM style, Channel 80. Number to call up, as always, is 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Lots of stuff to get into today. More Kaepernick. Got a different angle that I need to bring to y'all attention that hasn't been broached enough. I'll definitely talk about that. Some NFL items on the docket to touch on, without question, no doubt about that. But you know what's on my mind right now? There's a list that's out. And if you go to theundefeated.com, you will see a category, a big story, emblazoned over their website, 50 greatest black athletes of all time. And everybody's got their particular order, and everybody's got their own thoughts, and everybody's got stuff that's going on, and we understand that. We get it. But it's worthy of discussing because of a potpourri of reasons. It's not to eliminate anybody. This is an all-inclusive conversation. Because you got a lot of people that feel what they feel for whatever reason. And it may be justified. But let me tell you something. You've got some people that think Michael Jordan's number one. You've got a lot of others who think Muhammad Ali is number one. You've got, inexplicably, because I can't understand it, Serena Williams outside of the top 5. You got a whole bunch of stuff going on. And I think those are the kind of things that are important to mention. Those are the kind of things I'm trying to find the list here because I want to make sure that you understand what the top 10 list consists of. Michael Jordan, number 1. Jackie Robinson, number 2. Muhammad Ali, number 3. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, number 4. Jesse Owens, number 5. Serena Williams, number 6. Hank Aaron, number 7. Simone Biles, number 8. Gabby Douglas, number 9. And the great Jerry Rice at number 10. Let me be the first to say I have a problem with this list. Before I even get into the particulars, let me be very, very clear. Muhammad Ali is number 1 and will forever be number 1 to me. You can leave Jackie Robinson at number 2, integrating baseball in 1947. I'm good with that. You want to put Jesse Owens or Hank Aaron at number 3? I'm good with either. I want Serena Williams in my top 5. First of all, she's the greatest female tennis player ever alive. It's number 1. Number 2, the adversity that this woman and her family have had to endure. The shots taken at her. The way she's been maligned and caricatured and beyond. And the fact that she is still the ultimate champion that she is. Ladies and gentlemen, a few months ago, she won a title pregnant. Pregnant. She won a title. That's how special Serena Williams is. With a baby inside of her, she whipped people's butts. This woman is special. So I'm going to put her up there. And then, of course, I got to put Michael Jordan in the top 5 simply because he's MJ. He's the GOAT. And no matter what LeBron is, as the brilliant businessman that he is, not just a global iconic figure of an athlete that he is, he certainly doesn't deserve to be 29th, but he wouldn't be what he is off the court in all likelihood if it wasn't for individuals like Michael Jordan paving the way and showing the way. So that's the perspective upon which I'm coming from. And that's the perspective that I don't believe can be ignored. And everybody needs to pay rapt attention to. That's where I'm at with it. We can talk about Bill Russell. We can talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Arguably, they belong in the top 5. But the reason I bring this subject up is because what I'm really, really asking, and let's not forget Jesse Owens either, because the man ran in front of Hitler, for crying out loud. And we all know what Hank Aaron had to endure, being the home run king, and the death threats and the racist taunts and everything else that he had to endure. But the thing about it, the reason why this subject is so important to somebody like me is because who's not on the top 10 list? And that would be Tiger Woods. And ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to say, I want to put this out there on Front Street so everybody can understand exactly where I'm coming from. Tiger Woods doesn't deserve to be on the list. First of all, he's a golfer. He's not an athlete. He's a golfer. Secondly, and in my mind, most importantly, and in the minds of African Americans throughout this nation, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't want to embrace his blackness. That's a big deal. That's not being incendiary. That's not being insulting. It's being factual. I don't know whether it was cannibal Asian or whatever the hell he called himself. I don't remember the words he told Oprah, but he didn't want to embrace his blackness. I'm not denigrating the man. I'm not insulting the man. I respectfully disagree with him. But let me tell you why. It's incredibly important that he be left off this top 10 list. You know why it's so important? Because, ladies and gentlemen, if this nation has not taught us anything else, it has taught us that the more you're unwilling to identify yourself with your own ethnicity, particularly when you are black, the road to prosperity has been made easier for you. Ali didn't do that. Jackie Robinson didn't do that. Hank Aaron didn't do that. Jesse Owens didn't do that. Serena Williams hasn't done that. But Tiger Woods did. And the fact that you didn't have to endure that level of adversity that those others that I mentioned, the Bill Russells, Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Jim Browns, the Kurt Floods of the world, and others, the fact that you purposely removed yourself from that black equation, you didn't have to toil the trials and tribulations that those individuals that I mentioned had to. And it is because of that reality that Tiger Woods, to me, isn't even a part of this conversation. That's how I feel about it. What about you? 866-729-ESPN is the number to call up. That's 866-729-3776. And it's apropos to segue from that particular subject to Colin Kaepernick, because the reports are erroneous, by the way, where it talked about Spike Lee is putting together a protest, and they're going to protest outside the corridors of NFL headquarters on August 23rd. Spike Lee texted me this morning after that report was out, after I said this is what was going on. He said it's not true. He isn't organizing anything. He will not be there, but he will be there in spirit because he is in support of Colin Kaepernick. But he hasn't organized any protests, nor does he plan on being a part of it. But with that being said, he's with them in spirit. Colin Kaepernick, in a lot of people's eyes, is one of those athletes that I mentioned, not necessarily his greatness, but the fact that he's willing to take on a challenge. He's willing to sacrifice, et cetera, et cetera. I got news for you, ladies and gentlemen. I've spoken to a few other black people who don't feel that way about Colin Kaepernick. Notice I said black folks because we can't put everything on the white folks. Can't do it. It's not fair. Can't put it on Latinos. Can't put it on anybody else who don't happen to be black, but may respectfully disagree with Colin Kaepernick's position. Over the last 24 hours, since I got off the airwaves, I've spoken to numerous black folks whose attitude is bump Colin Kaepernick. You know what they point to? They said Stephen A. He kneeled for the national anthem. He wouldn't stand. Others joined in, like Brandon Marshall for the Denver Broncos, along with a few Miami Dolphins and others. They said they cost themselves endorsements, 6, if not 7 figures in certain respects, because of the stance that they took. What does Colin Kaepernick do? Doesn't have a plan. On top of it all, he chose to opt out of his contract with the San Francisco 49ers. He didn't have to be without a job right now. I had one guy that just got off the phone with me an hour ago and said, wait a minute. Colin Kaepernick quit on the San Francisco 49ers. Do you have any idea, Stephen A., how much heat Colin Kaepernick took, or how much heat, rather, the 49ers took? Because when Colin Kaepernick took the position that he took, they supported him as an organization. What did he do? Restructure his deal so he'd have the license to opt out of his contract at the end of the 2016 season and leave them high and dry after they support him and took heat from other owners and teams in the league. Stephen A., why are you feeling sympathetic towards Colin Kaepernick? Who the hell is he? That's what they said. And you know something? I usually have answers. I didn't have an answer to that one. He opted out of his deal. He could have made at least $12 million this year. He elected to pass and put himself on a free agent market. So if you are an owner and you're looking at the position that Colin Kaepernick took and you already had a problem with the San Francisco 49ers for supporting him, but then you turn around and watch Colin Kaepernick essentially quit on the same organization who stood up and supported him, why should you feel compelled to support him? I have an answer to that question. But it doesn't mean that the question itself is not legitimate. There is a legitimate question there in regards to Colin Kaepernick. Because before all of this went haywire, he was employed and essentially quit on the San Francisco 49ers. He didn't have to be without a job right now. He actually chose to do that. And in light of that reality, how should we really feel about Colin Kaepernick at this moment in time? Not because of kneeling for the national anthem, the totality, kneeling, ultimately agreeing that he'll stand, changing his positions, opting out of his contract. How sympathetic of a figure should he truly be? 866-729-ESPN is the number to call up. That's 866-729-3776. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shapes.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Hey, America, listen up. I know a lot of you have already gotten a Zeeper and are getting happy Z's as a result. You're welcome. As for the rest of you, what's the holdup? There's too many of you snoring and being a nuisance to everybody around you. I need you to stop procrastinating and deal with this now and go out there and get a Zeeper. Why do I know there are millions still snoring? Because I used to be one of you, that's why. You know I always keep it real with you. I always keep it real with my listeners. I'm telling you, I am a snorer. There is no doubt about that. But I've gotten better, and it's by using the Zeeper. Zeeper gets reports every time I talk about their product on my radio show. They know you went to their website, Zeeper.com. They know you clicked through all the 5-star testimonials and watched the video proving it works. They also know that you actually went through the process of putting a Zeeper in your shopping cart. Now finish the process and get a Zeeper already, please. Listen, people, your snoring is not going to stop until you get a Zeeper. I don't care what it costs. Sleep is priceless. You would know this if you got a Zeeper. And read the message inside the box. I'm telling you to get a Zeeper. Stop procrastinating. Go to Zeeper.com. That is ZYPPAH.com. Remember, Zeeper is Happy Z, spelled backwards. 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. To the phones we go. We'll get into a little NFL action a little bit later on in the show. A couple of previews that I want to point to. Aaron Rodgers talking about the Green Bay Packers need to win a Super Bowl to shut folks up. Yeah, get a defense first. That ain't Aaron Rodgers' fault. Let me be very, very clear about that. That ain't Aaron Rodgers' fault. But with all of that said and done, let's get back to the phone calls. Talking about the top 50 list on the undefeated. Top 50 black athletes of all time, 50 greatest black athletes of all time. Plus, we got into Colin Kaepernick and whether or not he should still be considered a sympathetic figure in light of what I highlighted prior to going to break. Let's go to Rock. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Rock, what's going on, big time? How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good today, man. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Talk to me.
All right. 50 black athletes.
Hold on, stop right there. Rock, I need you to speak directly into your phone,
my phone,
and
sir,
don't turn because then we can't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, the 50 top athletes, black athletes, I would say Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, and then I got to throw in Michael Jordan in there.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna sleep with you. I mean, give me 5. You gave me 3. Give me 5.
Okay, you 5. Okay, then 5.
Come on, that shouldn't be hard.
Kareem.
Okay.
And I say Earl of Pearl.
Earl of Pearl? No. Yeah. I love Earl of Pearl, but the Black Jesus. But come on now, he ain't top 5. Come on now. Rock, take it easy, bro. Come on now. You got to come to bed. Come another day with something better than that. Mike, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's going on, man? How are you? Mike.
Hey.
Yeah, you live on the air,
Hello?
buddy. Go ahead.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. You saying I'm one of them black people who don't agree with Colin Kaepernick because of what he did with the 49ers. I think that's what hurt him. He quit on the 49ers. They didn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
You think that's the problem? I think that's the problem.
Well, I think if you're an owner and you already were upset with the 49ers and the fact that they supported you, how do you then turn around and quit on them?
Yeah, because they supported him while all that's going on. They still were supporting him.
Yeah.
They didn't say nothing about getting rid of him or nothing.
And he opted out of his deal.
God, yep. That's it right there. I think all them owners got together and like, dang, he did it to us. He did it to them. Why? He might do it to us. But
Good point, Mike.
I wish they go ahead and get all. Yeah, I wish they go ahead and get it all over with. Because I was thinking about that.
Listen. The fact that stop, Mike. Here's the facts. This will all be all over with once the season starts. It's real easy to talk about this when ain't no games being played. Once the games start, trust me, you're gonna be thinking about the games a hell of a lot more than you think about Colin Kaepernick. Whether he's playing in the NFL or not, you can book it. Appreciate the call. Jordan, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, Stephen A. How you doing?
Talk to me, bro. How are you, man?
So I'm good, man. But, you kind of hurt my feelings with the golf statement. Here's why. Here's why I think Tiger Woods needs to be in that top 10. If you look at the sport of golf, there's no other sport out there that is not there's no team in golf, right? If you have one bad hole, one bad shot in golf, you completely ruin the tournament for yourself.
Whoa. Boxing, tennis, you're on your own.
Okay, tennis, agree. But now,
boxing,
boxing, correct. But now, again, on the sport of golf, historically, that's been a white-dominated sport. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, who came in there and broke the barrier for African Americans?
Let me ask you a question.
Please.
Give me another black dude other than Tiger.
Exactly. There is none because
what I'm saying to you is what barrier have you broken? Who's to say that the barrier still isn't there? He might have broke through for himself.
Agreed, but you could
there's
say the
nobody
same
else.
about Jackie Robinson.
Oh, wait a minute. When Jackie Robinson, then after that you had Larry Doby, and look at the African Americans you've had in the sport since that time.
Agreed. There's African Americans currently in the PGA Tour. My point is,
I don't know him. I'll be the first to admit it. I don't know any of them.
The last thing too, Stephen A. He's half Asian as well. I mean, the guy's in a tough spot if you want to look at it from that standpoint.
I disagree with you.
Golf's one of the biggest sports in Asia.
I disagree with you. I disagree, Jordan. You talking? You ain't listening. Don't tell me that you're in a tough spot because that people are asking you to identify with your blackness. That's not a tough spot. That's reality. Nobody asked him to ostracize. Hold on. I told you to listen. Nobody asked him to distance himself from his Asian heritage as it pertains to his mom. Nobody did that. But you feel the need to go out and disassociate yourself from your own race of people. We live in a country, where constitutionally we were called what was it? 3/5 of a man. Guess what? Because listen, you weren't even considered a full-fledged man, a full-fledged person. And if a scintilla of your skin was black, you was labeled black. But suddenly you're going to sit up here and be the greatest golfer in the world and don't want to associate yourself with your clear, flagrant, apparent blackness? And you don't think that should factor into the equation when we're talking about the 50 greatest athletes, when you consider the level of adversity others went through? So a Tiger Woods could have the chance to break the barriers of golf? If Muhammad Ali, the Kurt Floods, the Bill Russells, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, the Jim Browns, the Jackie Robinsons, the Larry Dobies of the world, and others, if they didn't fight the fight that they fought, would golf have ever embraced Tiger Woods? Am I making it up? Am I making it up, Jordan?
Makes sense. All I'm saying is from a standpoint of a professional athlete having to inherit a race or recognize a race, you got to look at it from both spectrums. Again, he's like African-American, completely get it. But on the Asian side, too, I mean, what do you do in that situation? Clearly, golf is more popular with Asians, correct?
I don't know the answer to that question. I imagine so.
It is. No, it 100% is.
I don't know. I'm not refuting that. I'm telling you I don't know.
As a professional golfer, and by the way, do you know why Tiger would wear red on Sunday?
Why?
Because he wore that for the suffrage of African Americans. Black pants for the blood.
Okay. That's it. I appreciate that information, Jordan. I'm going to double check that. I'm going to give you a heads up on that. Assuming that's true, Jordan, I appreciate you enlightening me on that. Because I honestly didn't know that. I honestly didn't know that. I'm going to man up and fess up to that. I'm not going to deny that. I appreciate that point. I'm going to double check it, though. 866-729-ESPN. More of the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio in a minute.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Ladies and gentlemen, that caller, Jordan, who called up in defense of Tiger Woods, lied to you. He either lied to you or he was misinformed. Yes, I'm calling him out. Jordan, I hope you're listening. This is a quote from Tiger Woods in 2013 as to why he wears the outfit that he wears. The red shirt, black pants, Sundays. Okay? Hasn't changed much in 16 plus years at the time. That Sunday outfit hasn't changed much. According to the article, at least in terms of colors, Woods has continued to wear a red shirt for the final round of every tournament in which he plays. The commitment to red has even led to the nickname Red Shirt. But what got Woods stuck on wearing red in the first place? Woods explained in a news conference at the AT&T National, quote, I've worn red ever since my college days, basically, or junior golf days. Big events on the last day, Woods said. I just stuck with it out of superstition, and it worked. I just happened to choose a school that actually was red, and we wore red on our final day of events. So it worked out. Then he later goes on to say, I came out here and I continued it. I've had a few wins wearing red, and it's not going to change. Furthermore, he also goes on to say, as recently as this year, July, last month, Brent Kelly updated. Throughout his golf career, Tiger Woods has rather famously sported red shirts in the final round of tournaments. Why is Tiger so committed to wearing red in the final round? Because his mother told him to. Once in the Dear Tiger section of his website, where he responds to fans' questions, Woods explained his red shirts this way, quote, I wear red on Sundays because my mom thinks that's my power color. And you know you should always listen to your mom. That's what Woods said. Jordan called up here and said Woods wore that to support African Americans. No, John, did y'all hear anything at all? That this has anything to do with supporting African Americans? I heard him saying that he's listening to his mama. I heard him say that he was superstitious. Jordan tried to get one over. Didn't work, Jordan. I was right. You were wrong. Shut up. I say that affectionately. Mike in Denver, you're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, big baby? How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. How you doing?
I'm good. He tried to get one over on me, bro. Didn't work.
I know. I was just sitting up here cracking up because I said I know you was going to check it. But, man, getting back to the top 10 athletes, my list is my top 5. I'm gonna go with Mike, Muhammad Ali, Serena, Jackie Robinson, and Bill Russell. What do you think about that?
Okay, they're not a bad list, but why would Michael Jordan be ahead of Muhammad Ali?
Well, it's a toss-up. I'm gonna just say because one reason is me and them graduated the same year in high school. I used to put
you bringing emotion to the equation, Mike.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
I'm a little biased about that, man.
It ain't like he gonna hold on, Mike. It ain't like he gonna run into you at homecoming and beat you down. I mean, come on, Mike. You got to have a better reason than the emotion, bro.
I know, man, but I'm saying it was a hard choice, though, because, I really believe Ali. I should have Ali at number 1. You're right. I'm saying because, Ali did a lot.
And by the way, why would you put MJ ahead of Bill Russell or Kareem?
I just think Mike. I just think the time of playing with Mike and Bill and Kareem, I just go with Mike.
Different time. Different time. I got you.
Different time. I just go with
got
that. I put Serena in there because, man, she had to overcome so much stuff. And, man, she's so professional about what she do. And on top of that, man, all she do is take names. All she do is kick behind and take names.
Man, she beat him pregnant. She beat him pregnant.
Exactly. I just found that out the other day, too. I was going to say that. I just found that out the other day. Now, if you out there like that and taking care of business, man, then, you got to tip your head off to her, man.
No doubt about it.
Quick before you let me go, man. I had to put my brother in the home yesterday, so
my prayers.
We don't know how long he's gonna be there, but we still praying and hope everything work out, man. And
stay strong, man.
We love you, man, and stay doing what you're doing, man. And let me listen up to the rest of the callers, man. Have a good day.
Keep being the great brother you are to that man. Keep it going, bro. Keep your head up. One love. Let's go to James. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, James? How are you?
Hey, Stephen A. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Good. So, you say athlete. I understand a lot of these people on this list have significance in their sports, but I'm not hearing any names like Jim Brown, Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. These guys were pros at more than one sport.
It was just top. It was just top 10. They're definitely one of the tops. You see what I'm saying? It's definitely debatable. It's all debatable because Jim Brown definitely should be considered. Primetime Deion Sanders is the greatest corner in the game that we've ever seen, a great athlete or whatever. But some of those guys that are on that list is because of the adverse circumstances they had to deal with en route to their greatness, as opposed to just having the freedom to just play and perform in their respective sport. That's what that was about, sir.
I understand. Just like Jackie Robinson broke the barrier, but
yes.
I'm a big baseball guy. I think Hank Aaron was a better player than Jackie Robinson.
Probably right.
I understand what he did.
Probably right. Well, you know why, though, right? Because if there was no Jackie Robinson, there would have not been Hank Aaron.
Exactly. And if there was no Jordan, no LeBron and everything, I get it.
There you go.
I'm not going to waste your time. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Nick. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's going on, Nick the Quick? How you doing, man? How's everything? Hey, Nick, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You hear me?
Go ahead, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Hey, so I wanted to get your thoughts on the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I feel the exact same way you do about Aaron Rodgers.
He's a bad man, bro. He's a bad man.
Yeah, he always played well in the playoffs, but they've always come up short because of the defense, and I just wanted to get your thoughts about that.
Well, listen, Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy got to do their jobs. That was a Pop Warner defense they had in the secondary last year. Remember what the Redskins did to them? I think it was on Monday Night Football or something. Remember how they got destroyed by the Redskins when they gave up 42 points? It was a Sunday night, actually, when they gave up 42 points to Kirk Cousins, making them look like the second coming of Joe Montana. And remember how the week before that they had lost to Tennessee by giving up 47 points to Marcus Mariota and those boys? 47 and 42 back-to-back weeks. That's what Green Bay did in the throes of a 4-game losing streak. But somehow, some way, Aaron Rodgers, and by the way, and keep this in mind, Nick, Aaron Rodgers had a down year last year. Remember how people were talking about him?
Right.
Remember how they were talking about him? Like he was he's faded. He's not himself. He had 40 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. 40-7. With a QBR of 76, and they talking about this dude, Nick, like he's passé. I mean, can you believe the nerve to these people?
I know, it's insane.
Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. This brother's special. He just don't have a defense. I mean, Richard Rodgers got short, play tight end position, got to act like he want to be there. Eddie Lacy, he ain't going to be there anymore. Ty Montgomery's that dude. You look at Randall Cobb. You look at Jordy Nelson. He's going to be back healthier. I mean, I'm looking at some of these cats, man. I'm excited with Devontae Adams and the rest of the crew. I'm excited by what I see from Green Bay offensively. Defensively, I have no faith in them until I see otherwise. Zero. And that's the problem. All right? I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. More of your calls in a minute right here with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Story of OJ. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. Jay-Z doing it like only he can do it. Stephen A. Smith Show, back here at you on ESPN Radio. Number to call up as always is 866-729-ESPN. It's 866-729-3776. My boy Champ, one of my buddies, good, beautiful brother, a lot of heart, very, very knowledgeable about the world of sports. His only problem is one thing. He gets very, very emotional. Very emotional. Like he thinks Lawrence Taylor should be on the list. Lawrence Taylor was a great athlete, yeah. Lawrence Taylor was one of the greatest linebackers in history in getting at the quarterback. He wasn't great dropping back in the coverage. He wasn't all-purpose like primetime Deion Sanders. But in the world of champ, put Lawrence Taylor in the top 5. Stop it. Love LT, even though his check and pass, give me a break. Will Chamberlain, I don't give a damn how dominant you want. You got 2 rings. You got 2 rings while your rival, Bill Russell, got 11. Enough of that. I don't understand him sometimes. I will say this, though. When you talk about athletes, Deion Sanders belongs in that conversation. He really, really does. Bo Jackson got hurt too early to see what he would be able to sustain. Barry Bonds, special. Ken Griffey Jr. was special, but the latter part of his career, not so much. I'm just saying. 866-729-ESPN. I got to go right to my next guest. I don't know where the hell he has been. I don't know how long. It's been a while since I saw my man Carlton in Massachusetts, but I miss my brother from another mother. I miss my favorite guest on this show. Haven't heard from him, hating on the Patriots and Tom Brady. We were kind of wondering about you, Carlton. Did something happen to you or something? We hadn't heard from you in so long. How you been, buddy?
I've been okay. How you been?
I'm doing all right, man. Great to hear from you.
I've been busy. I'm in the process of a move down to Tampa Bay. I'm going to become a Buccaneers fan, so I'm going to have to hate the Patriots from afar. They were closing in on me up here. Belichick and his minions there. We're kind of trying to find out my true identity, so I got to move south.
You know what? You can act like you joking all you want to. I think that's quite possible, Carlton. I really do. It could be happening.
I live actually a very short distance from Bill, so it's a distinct possibility, my friend. Okay? But today I want to infuriate a lot of your listeners because I'm going to give you a viewpoint that is completely at odds with most of the people that have been propagating this Kaepernick business for the last 6 months. And my point is the social justice warriors, same social justice warriors who put 2 20- and 21-year-old gymnasts on the list of the top 10 black athletes of all times, completely ridiculous. They are destroying Colin Kaepernick's career, and he has let them do it. In fact, he's been an active participant in it, so I don't feel bad.
An instigator, Carlton, one could argue. But go ahead.
I don't feel bad for him. So let's take you back to last year when Colin Kaepernick divided his own locker room, divided his own fan base, turned home field advantage into a home field disadvantage when his own fans booed him every time he went onto the field, okay? Colin Kaepernick, who equated a police badge to a runaway slave finder's badge. Colin Kaepernick, who wore pig officer socks to practice one day. Colin Kaepernick, who wore a Fidel Castro T-shirt. Okay, all that said and done. And then now this year, Colin Kaepernick is trying to resurrect his career. And so the Ravens show a bit of interest in him. And what does his girlfriend do? Post to social media equating Steve Bisciotti and Ray Lewis with DiCaprio and Samuel Jackson in Django. You know, a vicious racist slave owner and his lackey black henchman who actually feed slaves to the wolves, in service of his. That's
Absolutely.
what Colin Kaepernick's partner does with one of the few owners or one of the few coaches who's thinking about hiring him. I mean, talk about writing the manual on how not to get a job in the NFL. Who can feel sorry for Colin Kaepernick? I mean, this is crazy.
Well, hey, listen. Everything that you pointed out, I pointed out here throughout the days, the last few days. Everything that you just said. I spoke to Ray Lewis right after his girlfriend tweeted that. Ray Lewis like, I'm done.
Exactly. I'm done. Remember Nico Grimes got Frank Grimes booted out of Miami for her racist taunts of the ownership in Miami. Colin Kaepernick, I hope he's in love with this woman. They've only been dating about 2 years because she is destroying his career as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, but isn't she the one that initially coaxed him into kneeling for the national anthem?
Yes,
according
she
to the
did.
reports?
Yes, she did.
Oh, Lord.
He better be in love. This is a woman who, she's a social justice warrior. She is.
Look, Carlton, you got the line of the week. He better be in love.
Yeah, because he's going to have if they break up, he's going to have a long time to think about what she helped him do to his NFL career. If I was an NFL GM or an NFL owner right now, there is no way I'm hiring this guy.
Well, let me say this to you. I can't disagree with your position. All your points are valid, which are things that I pointed out, which is why I threw the question out there. But it still doesn't negate the fact that there's some blackballing going on. What you're explaining is its justification. What I'm saying is its existence, whereas you got John Harbaugh and Commissioner Goodell and others that are saying, no, that's not the case, when clearly that appears to be the case, Carlton.
Well, look at,
I got to interrupt because we got to leave in 15 seconds.
But DiCaprio was one of the most vicious characters ever in movie history. You're going to compare me to a person like that?
Done.
No way I'm never hiring you.
Carlton, great hearing from you. Call back in, buddy. Don't be a stranger like that again, all right, my man? You take it easy. Hour number 2 up next with Stephen A. We'll continue on Kaepernick. We'll continue on the undefeated top 50 black athletes list of all time. Plus, we'll get into some more NFL action. Stick around. Don't touch that dial.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.
Want an easy way to see if you could save money on car insurance? Geico gives you 3. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Go online to geico.com or stop by the Geico office nearest you. 3 ways you could save 15% or more.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
I'm Stephen A. Number 2 for the Stephen A. Smith Show here with you for the next hour or so over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 80. Number to call up as always is 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Just wanted to take another moment to give some props to the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's something special, man. I mean, 79-32 translates to about 115-win season. Destroyed the Mets over this past weekend in New York. Won by a cumulative score of 21-4. Pitching a pair of shutouts along the way. Yu Darvish looked good in his Dodger debut. Justin Turner got back on track. Just reading an article from the LA Times right now. Cody Bellinger, he smacked a pair of home runs. Chris Taylor stayed hot. I'm just looking at the Dodgers right now. And Adrian Gonzalez is on the disabled list. And so is Kershaw. What excuse? See, to me, all of this is starting to look bad for the Dodgers. Not good, because we've gotten to a point now. I mean, this Yasiel Puig kissing his hitting coach and all of this. I don't give a damn about that. What the hell is this? The love connection? I don't care about that. I mean, anything to me. He got to show up in the postseason. They got to get it done. Smacked 5 home runs after overcoming an early 3-run deficit against the Mets. Corey Seager's playing well at shortstop. I mean, I don't know what to say. These brothers don't look like they have any weakness. Dave Roberts doing a hell of a job as a manager. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens. I would love it for them to be the Dodgers versus the Yankees. But the Cubs versus the Yankees would be good too. But, Dodgers should get in the way of that. And damn sure shouldn't let the Nationals get in the way of it either. By the way, in another note, Los Angeles Rams defensive lineman Aaron Donald not expected to end holdout despite deadline. Losing about $40,000 a day, ladies and gentlemen. I don't blame him. Why go out there and risk your health and the tens of millions of dollars that you deserve because the Rams want you to come out and risk everything? You know, they want you to honor your 2-year deal. They don't honor deals. NFL teams don't honor deals. I am in total support of players who find themselves in a position where they can cash in and do everything they can to take advantage of that opportunity. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I wholeheartedly support them. Wholeheartedly. NFL teams assign you the contracts, come to you, ask you to take pay cuts, restructure your deals, cut or waive you. How come the players can't take advantage of the opportunities when they have leverage? I am in complete and total support of Aaron Donald, especially when you consider everybody from Fletcher Cox to J.J. Watt to Von Miller and everybody else and the money that's being doled out there. He's got to get his. I 1,000% support Aaron Donald. 1,000%. You're the Rams. You stink. Perpetually. And got the nerve to try to flex with one of your best players? Who the hell do you think you are? The Rams are in no position, none, to walk around like they got leverage. None. I applaud them for getting rid of Jeff Fisher. They're probably still crying over that, the way this dude hypnotized them. Losing, missing the playoffs 16 out of 22 years and still getting contract extensions. I mean, do you realize that Jeff Fisher was so bad when they gave him a contract extension, they actually hid it? They didn't even want the public to know. He didn't want the public to know. Probably. That's how much Jeff Fisher and the Rams stunk. And you got a stud like Aaron Donald, and you're going to hold out on him? You're going to choose him to flex your muscle? When his brother is easily worth over $50 million in guarantees? Now, y'all smoking something. Give Aaron Donald his damn money. He deserves it. Give him his money. L.A., stand up. Because, I mean, the Rams are damn near irrelevant right now. Imagine what they're going to be if they don't have him. That's not what we can say about the Chargers, though. Got a new coach in Anthony Lynn. You still got the same offensive coordinator in Ken Whisenhunt. So you got cohesiveness and structure and a foundation offensively. You got Phillip Rivers, a 14-year veteran, a 6-time Pro Bowler, fresh over throwing for more than 4,300 yards this past season. You got Melvin Gordon, who can run and catch out of the backfield. You got Mike Williams out of Clemson, who got hurt with the herniated disc in his back, and it still don't matter because you still got about 6 weapons to throw the ball to, including Antonio Gates, who's arguably a future Hall of Famer. Chargers going to be all right. I mean, they got a tough division, but they ain't going to stink up the joint. Rams done nothing but stink. I mean, all of us as a city collectively can walk down to the Rams practice facility and collectively pass gas together. And you would still say it's the Rams that stink, not us. That's how bad they are. They're in no position to sit up there and take this position with Aaron Donald. The nerve. Get that man his money. Always choosing the wrong people to flex your muscles. We've got a lot of damn nerves. The hell you think you are? You lucky if anybody come watch you at this damn stadium. By the way, I think the Rams are wise because they're playing at like some 27,000-seat stadium. I mean, the Chargers, I'm sorry. I think that's very smart. You want to ingratiate yourself into the L.A. community from San Diego before you ask 70 or 80,000 people to come see you. I think you got a good shot to get 27,000 people to fill a stadium on a Sunday. I really think that's possible. barring ridiculous traffic, of course. 866-729-ESPN is the number to call up. This 866-729-3776. Back with more of your phone calls because there's a lot of stuff to get to. You know I want to do that. Have to do that because there are a few things on my mind. And I just want to let y'all know what it is. But I just had to get that off my chest about these damn Rams. They get on my nerves. This is Stephen A. Smith. You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show. By the way, when it comes to our cars, one thing is almost certain. Something at some time is going to break down. And if your vehicle warranty is expired, one big repair can actually break your bank. Now, we all know there are auto protection plans out there, but only one stands alone, y'all, and that's Toco Warranty. With Toco, you don't pay upfront fees for service you may never use. Toco makes protecting your car easy with their pay-as-you-go plan. Just pay a small amount each month and keep the protection for as long as you like. With Toco, there is no long-term contract, no upfront fees, and you can cancel at any time. So listen up, get peace of mind, knowing you're protected with the coverage plans on the engine, the electrical, the transmission, the cooling system, drive axle, and more. Plus, enjoy the benefits of roadside assistance and paid rental car fees. Toco's special concierge service guides you through the entire process, from sales to claims to customer service, all under one roof. So don't risk being grounded by auto repairs you can't afford. See if you qualify for Toco at 800-211-2884. That's 800-211-2884. That's 800-211-2884. 84. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio.
Okay, keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I want to show you my first ever painting.
All right.
Okay. Open your eyes.
Oh, that's a lot of colors and shades.
So be honest. What do you think?
Well, I like how if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds of dollars on car insurance.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Here, why don't I hold your paintbrush while you call them?
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Back to the phones we go. Back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. That's 710 ESPN LA, 98.7 FM, New York City, and, of course, nationwide over the airwaves of ESPN Radio, Sirius XM style, channel 80, 866-729-ESPN is always the number to call up. That's 866-729-3776. Back to the phones we go. Let's go to Jeremy in Staten Island. You're live with Stephen A. How you doing, Jeremy? How's everything going?
Good. How's it going, man?
Talk to me, bro. What's up?
All right. So the guy before who had a top five with MJ at the top, I agree with that, but I had a few changes to make to that list.
Go ahead.
Instead, I got MJ, Muhammad Ali, Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, Bill Russell.
Give me that order again, please.
Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, and then Bill Russell.
All right. 2 to 5. Muhammad Ali, Jesse Owens, Jackie Robinson, and who was the fifth?
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell. All of them have obviously a very, very different social history coupled with their athletics than that of Michael Jordan. So why do you have Michael Jordan number one, followed by those specific four?
Because he may not have broke the barrier of playing the game, but as far as athletes being able to brand themselves, he is the person who created that by far. There's no athlete before him who gave athletes the freedom to make their career, which a lot of them are not that long, into something that they could prosper off for the rest of their life.
You're talking about Michael Jordan?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, man, I don't have a problem with that list. That's a damn good one. It's a damn good one, Jeremy. Kudos to you, man.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. John. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for calling the show. How are you?
How's it going, Stephen A?
All right. Speak up so my listeners can hear you, buddy.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to inform you the first African-American golfer was Charles Sippert, born in the 20s, played through the 60s and the 70s. But other than that.
Okay.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah. I mean, it's something I've reported on in the past, but go ahead.
All right. No, that guy was saying Tiger Woods. I was dead wrong. No, you got me a little tuned up with that golfers not being athletes. I want you to dive into that phone book and call up Michael Irving, Steph Curry, Iguodala.
I have. No. But you have to remember, they have profound respect for all of those golfers because it takes a special skill, and there's no way you can diminish that. You know, so there's nobody. You're not trying to disrespect golfers by saying. You remember that time, John Kruk? Remember John Kruk? You used to play for the Philadelphia Phillies and was he was a broadcaster for ESPN. Remember him?
Oh yeah, I know him.
John Kruk. Remember that time he said, "I'm not an athlete. I'm a baseball player."
All right, I see where you're going.
Because he's like I have a special skill. But look at me, this pot belly. I like to drink some beer. I ain't trying to run 20 miles. I ain't trying to do all that. I can just swing that bat and I can play this game. And I'm saying to you, with golfers, you can play that game. But you don't have to be an athlete to play golf.
You hurt me with that one, man. Still
isn't it true?
You hurt me with that one.
But isn't it true? I know it hurt your feelings, but is it not true?
I can't agree with you. I'm sorry, but I respect.
Hold on. You don't believe that you don't have to be an athlete to play golf?
You need a certain level of athleticism.
How is it that dudes in their 60s go out on the senior tour swinging the golf club?
Oh, but that's a senior tour. They're not playing the top.
But what I'm saying to you is this: you don't see basketball folks doing that, football players doing that.
Basketball court doesn't mean you can make it in the NBA.
No, I'm not talking about making it anywhere. I'm not talking about your level of skill. I'm saying the athleticism and the physical gifts that are required to play those sports doesn't necessarily exist in golf.
I'm inclined to disagree, man.
Okay.
I'm inclined to disagree.
Okay, you're inclined, but you ain't doing it vociferously enough because you know better. They're not athletes. They're great golfers. They're skilled individuals, but they're not athletes.
Stephen A., I don't think you could be beaten in a debate, man. I don't think you can.
I don't think so either. I'm pretty much the man, but I appreciate you acknowledging that, and I got love for you for it, my brother. Thank you so much, man. Take it easy. Vertus, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, man. What's up?
What's going on, Doc?
Talk to me, man.
Hey, I want to break something down to you because you seen that you can't get this Jerry Jones love for Tony Romo aspect. So I'm gonna break it down to you why he got so much love for Jerry. Okay.
Go ahead.
After Troy Aikman left, who were the quarterbacks after Troy Aikman?
Oh, but was it Quincy Carter? Was it him? I'm trying to remember. I think it was Quincy Carter. I think it was.
Okay, you got Quincy Carter, Ryan Leaf, Drew Henson, Chad Hutchinson. Let me see, Vinny Testaverde. You had all of these quarterbacks. The Cowboys wasn't even relevant at the time. Correct. When Tony Romo came on the scene, that made the Cowboys irrelevant again. They didn't. Tony Romo didn't win. He didn't win any Super Bowls, like you said. But
keep going, because you're making me laugh. Keep going.
But he brought them back to relevancy.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, and think about this.
Relevancy. Stop. I got a few questions for you, and don't you dare wiggle out of this. You answer my damn questions. Do you understand me? Don't wiggle out of this. All right, I need quick answers because I got a bunch of questions. Okay?
Okay.
You a Cowboys fan?
All my life.
How many Super Bowls you win?
5.
What do you define as relevance?
What you mean relevant?
What do you define as relevance?
Okay. At one point, when Troy Aikman,
you're dancing, Vertus.
I'm going to tell you. The Dallas Cowboys wasn't even on TV. They wasn't even showing the Dallas Cowboys games on TV. I know because I was going somewhere else watching them. They wasn't even relevant.
All right. Stop right there. How old are you?
I'm 47.
You're 47. I'm 49. You're 47, right? That means we grew up in the same generation, bro. When we grew up, what were the Cowboys doing?
Winning.
Winning what?
Super Bowls.
What Tony Romo do?
Wait a minute.
Come on, Vertus. Give it to me, Vertus. Give it to me.
This is a part. But this is the thing. Tony Romo did the best he could with what he had. You talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Can I ask you a question?
Wait a minute. You say Aaron Rodgers. He never had a defense. Tony Romo never had a defense. This is my point. If Tony Romo gets you a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter and the defense gives it up, is that his fault?
Stop right
It is
there.
not his fault.
Stop right there. Stop. Were there or were there not back-to-back 8-8 seasons where the Dallas Cowboys lost the last regular season game against the Giants, the Redskins, and the Eagles in back-to-back years?
Yes. But guess
Was
what?
there not a 6-10 season? No. I still got questions. I know Tony Romo didn't play. He only played in 2 of the 3. He didn't play in all 3. I know that. But was there not a 6-10 season before that? Was there not a playoff game where Tony Romo bobbled the snap when Bill Parcells was the coach? Was there not games where Tony Romo threw interceptions that blew up for them? I know he's a gunslinger. I know he could ball. I know he made great plays too. But were there not moments where Tony Romo was the reason that the Dallas Cowboys lost? Yes or no?
No. You know why? Because the reason why Tony Romo made mistakes, because he got them the lead. The defense gave it up. He was trying to make up for the defense. So y'all don't want to talk about that part.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
You know, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that, Vertus, because you're jumping off the rails. You're jumping off the rails. I know that. I understand that he's had his great moments. I'm talking about the ones that weren't, because we can't say that about Roger Staubach. We can't say that about Troy Aikman. We couldn't even say that about Danny White. You got a guy that you're raving about that was a full-time starter for 9 years, and in 9 years, 4 times he made the playoffs. And in those 4 years, he won 2 playoff games. You got to win at least 3 1 year in order to win a Super Bowl. This dude won a grand total of 2 playoff games in 9 years. Are you really, really sure that you want to sit up here and justify this love fest and love affair that Jerry Jones has with Tony Romo? Because if you do, you are doing a disservice to the Troy Aikmans of the world, the Roger Staubachs of the world, and others. You do understand that?
No, I love all that Cowboys, but you got to take into everything. Tony Romo never had an offensive line until 2 years ago. Never had a decent running back. Marion Barber was okay. He wasn't a very good running back. The defense was suspect.
Vertus, you ain't got to say everything now, because I don't even want to hear from you anymore. The point is, right now, but you are welcome to call back. I'm here all season long, Vertus. I ain't going nowhere. I want you to call back. I'm going to have fun with you. Because you in denial. Tell the truth, Vertus, before I let you go. You that dude that was sticking out your chest last year, right? Talking about what the Dallas Cowboys were going to do, right? And how they were going to win the Super Bowl. And then when they lost to Green Bay at 7 o'clock, by about 7:30, 8 o'clock, you were one of those dudes that was like, we're going to win the Super Bowl next year, right? Ain't that you? Tell the truth. That's it. See, Vertus dropped. Suddenly, I can't find Vertus. Typical Cowboys fan. Delusional, not living in reality. That's why I can't stand them. But it's all love. It's affectionate. When I say I can't stand them, I'm just playing around, having fun. But I can't stand Cowboy fans. I love your misery because it's that kind of nonsense right there. The delusional perspectives I just can't take. More of your calls in a minute with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio.
Guess what? You're in the middle of the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Damn it, I mean it! Senorita! Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Back to the phones we go at 866-729-ESPN. That's 866-729-3776. Hey, in New Jersey, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me. What's up?
Hey, how you doing, good brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Talk to me, man.
I had one thing to say about the top athletes, black athletes. I didn't hear Warren Moon on that list. Nobody said Warren Moon. This is the only black quarterback that won the Super Bowl. And during my time,
stop. Warren Moon never won the Super Bowl. That's number one. That was Doug Williams. Warren Moon is a Hall of Famer. Great quarterback. Very gifted. But top 50, no.
Is no other brothers that ever won a Super Bowl other than Doug Williams?
Doug Williams. The Warren Moon never. You said Warren Moon.
Yeah, that's my mistake.
Doug Williams. Doug Williams ain't top 50 all time. You give him his props and his respect for pulling it off, but he's not top 50 all the time, all time.
All right, I got you.
Take it easy,
bro.
The
other thing I want to talk.
Oh, go ahead, real quick. Go ahead.
It was the Kaepernick situation. Like I understand everything, the NFL, how they want to do things or whatever. But if you got a player, he's standing up for something that's right for the black community. And if everybody's agreement for what his stance was, I don't see why wouldn't he be allowed to play in the NFL again.
Because billionaire white owners don't want the problem. because they believe it will affect their bottom line because he'll alienate a large populace of where they of that feeds their coffers, rather. Now let me reverse that to you, okay? You are a black man, is that correct, eh?
Yes, sir.
You're a billionaire, and somebody white takes a stance that has nothing to do with you in your eyes, and it affects your bottom line. You gonna invite them on your team? See, what I'm trying to say to you is that you ain't wrong for the sensitivity that you have. It just means that you're a good-hearted brother with a good soul, and you're thinking about what's right and righteous. But what I gave you is a practical scenario upon which to view things from their lens. They're not black. They don't believe they're a part of the plight. And even if others do believe it, they don't care. Because their attitude is, we're billionaires. We own a team in the National Football League. These dudes who would otherwise not be making the kind of money that they've been blessed and fortunate enough to make, okay, should toe the line. And if they're not going to toe the line, then we ain't going to pay them. And we're not going to play them, and they're going to have to go somewhere else. I'm telling you, that's through their lens. And the same black folks, meaning me, you, and all of us, who absolutely positively believe that Colin Kaepernick should be in the NFL, have to be sensitive to the fact that when we have ownership of something, we ain't trying to hear somebody else come in and tell us they can do what they want to do while compromising what we're doing. We ain't having it. They got to go. So if we're that way, how can we expect a billionaire owner to be?
You're right.
All right? Got to run, bro. Appreciate the call. Chris in L.A., you're live at Stephen A. Talk to me, man.
Hey, Stephen A., how's it going, man? Real quick, I know you didn't get a chance to talk about the NBA today, but I didn't get a chance to get on the phone with you yesterday regarding
about Kyrie, right? About Kyrie, right? Right, Chris?
That was today, but that was
what you were calling up here about Kyrie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Kyrie. I actually had two questions for you.
Go ahead.
One regarding Kyrie, one regarding LeBron, and the whole Instagram thing from yesterday.
Sure.
Which you spoke on the first take, yes. So real quick, the whole LeBron thing, and I listened to you and Max was. Everybody says LeBron's a great leader, but I just want to know from you, Stephen, what's your definition of a great leader? Because everybody is different.
For me personally, I don't think LeBron's a great leader. I think he's the leader of the Cavs, but I don't think he's a great leader. As a matter of fact, I think one of the reasons he's being held to the carpet is because he constantly talked about his leadership, and I don't think leadership is consistently separating yourself from the rest of your troops, which is something that he does. I think a leader galvanizes the troops and coaxes much effort and production out of them as one possibly can, because they're not just going to war, they're going to war for him. That's a leader.
Exactly.
And I don't think that's always the case. I think at times that's been the case with LeBron. I don't think that's always been the case.
I agree 100%. I just thought it out you because I hear Max say and the other guys say, oh, LeBron's a better leader than Kobe. That's why I put him in. But I'm gonna throw this back at you, Stephen A. Would we ever question Kobe's motivation, Kobe's heart, and Kobe's will to, if he loses 1 year, you know he's going to come back the next year. You're not going to hear from him, but you know he's not going to be on social media. You know he's not going to throw his teammates under the bus. You know whoever's with him, the other 13 or 14 troops with him, he's going to do what he can to get those guys ready to be prepared for the upcoming season rather than doing all the unnecessary stuff. That's what I believe separates Kobe from LeBron.
Kobe's an assassin. And you want me to tell you one of the more telling moments of a Kobe Bryant? And you're going to appreciate this when I break this story down to you, because you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to remember. It's going to be an epiphany for you.
Okay.
The Jimmy Kimmel Show is on, and Kobe Bryant is on there. And Jimmy Kimmel showed the horrible Lakers ending a 14-game losing streak with Swaggy P and these boys acting like absolute clowns, like they won something. And he showed the video to Kobe, and the whole audience is laughing because Kobe just looked and he was furious and had very, very little to say.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Because his whole thing is, what the hell is this? There's nothing funny about this. Y'all think this is cute because you ended a 14-game losing streak? That's Kobe.
That's Kobe, Stephen A. Because I remember talking to you once before, Stephen A. I mean, I don't believe guys want to be great anymore. There's nothing but excuses. Kobe never struck me as that person. There's a lot of guys.
LeBron wants to be great. LeBron wants to be great. Here's the problem. I don't care what anybody says. We say this in hindsight. We say this in hindsight, Chris. LeBron walked into that NBA Finals knowing he was going to lose.
Yes, that's not a good mindset. You can't.
That's not a good mindset.
You got to see that, though, Stephen A. Your teammates see that going in.
Not at all. He walked into that Finals knowing he's going to lose. When he was interviewed in Boston after they clinched the Eastern Conference crown, and he was asked about the Golden State Warriors, he said, "I don't even want to address it right now. That's too stressful." What?
Oh, wow.
What?
Got you, Stephen. Yeah.
And then walked off the court after he lost, hugging with his head up, and it's like, yo, I did all I could. I averaged my triple-double. It was not good. It was not good. Appreciate the call, Chris. 866-729-ESPN. Your calls to close out the show in a minute. It's the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
To the phones we go before we get on out of here for the day. Stephen A. Smith Show, ESPN Radio. Let's go back to the phones. That undefeated list, theundefeated.com. Website sponsored by ESPN, focusing on African Americans, African American history. Top 50 black athletes of all time. Check out the list on the Undefeated right now. Big Pete, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me, man.
Hey, how you doing, Stephen A., man? I love your show, man.
Thank you, bro. Go ahead.
They supposed to have on that top 5, they supposed to have Magic Johnson at number 4, Doug Williams at number 5 for what he went through when he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I know, but you got to take into account all that you've accomplished. Like Doug Williams was, we appreciate the fact that he's the first African-American to win a Super Bowl. We get that reality, the only one really. But at the same time, he's not a top 50 player of all time.
Oh, no, he's not a top 50 player.
Yeah, he's not a top 50. And then we got to look at Magic Johnson. He might be on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, but Magic Johnson, I don't know if Magic Johnson comes before, I don't know if he comes before Kareem, and he damn sure don't come before Jordan.
Oh, nah, but I think he was the greatest point guard.
That's true, but we're talking top 50 athletes of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can put him at 4. I love Magic, and the Magic Man's the Magic Man. I don't know if I can put him as high as number 4 all time overall.
Yeah, but I took an account to what he done for the community, as far as black people, as well as what he done on the court.
He's busy, extraordinary businessman. Extraordinary businessman, accomplished a great deal, but at the same time, he had the support of the white community as well. Remember, he wasn't black; he's Magic.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, that's not knocking him in any way. They just loved that smile. They were very, very comfortable with him. And even though they hated on him when he was going against Boston, the fact that he ultimately befriended Bird and whatever was an incredible help. Magic Johnson was never a pariah. Never.
Yeah, you telling the truth about that. Kareem toughened him up.
Okay. That's right. All right, man. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot. Sergio in L.A., you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me. What's up?
What up, Stephen, man? I just got to chime in on this situation with Colin Kaepernick. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm a diehard Miami Dolphins fan, man. And I know we have a big fan base out here, and a lot of us are disappointed with this Jay Cutler signing. I understand the relationship with Adam Gase, but when you compare the style of play with Tannehill, Colin Kaepernick is a better athlete, and he's a lot more similar to him.
Stop right there. Don't even talk about the football. This is not about football. This is about the fact, listen, the one place that I do not have a problem with Colin Kaepernick not landing is Miami. Because when you wore that Fidel Castro T-shirt and you got 34% of the populace being Cuban, they don't care about that kneeling for the national anthem. That's not their national anthem. They're from Cuba. He offended those people by supporting somebody they believe to be is their version of Adolf Hitler. That's where your problem lies with Colin Kaepernick being in Miami.
I mean, I can kind of understand that, but when you're talking about a team that's trying to win right now, you have to go with the best player that can give you the opportunity.
My man, are you Cuban?
Am I Cuban? Nah, I'm actually Mexican.
Okay,
Mexican.
you can't speak for them, man. If they think that kid Fidel Castro, if they think he's Hitler, right? Then that transcends all that other stuff you're talking about to them.
I mean, I can see what you're talking about.
That's why I said Miami. That's why I said Miami's the one place. Miami's the one place I'm not going to knock them for doing that. It's the other, like the New York Jets. What excuse do you have when Josh McCown and Christian Hackenberg and Bryce Petty are your quarterbacks? What excuse do you have to not have Colin Kaepernick in there?
They don't, and that's why I said I know he's being blackballed. Like, clearly, we all know what's going on, and that's the whole situation. I mean, it's just unfortunate. He's a great athlete. I wish he could have joined our team because I know he would have gave us a better possibility in winning.
Yeah, but you got people. You got people saying, "Look, man, the San Francisco 49ers stood up and supported him. He quit on them. Why the hell should another team take him?" That's what they're saying about him, man.
Jay Cutler, come on, man, Jay Cutler.
I'm going to hang up on you. You're not listening to me. You're having your own conversation. I brought up Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers. You bringing me Jay Cutler. I said you got people saying he quit on the 49ers. That's what they're saying. He opted out of his deal. He could have still had a job. He elected to go. Brian in Manhattan, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, what's going on? I just have to talk about you leaving Tiger Woods out of your top 10. Now,
Yes, sir.
I could agree the trials, tribulations, he didn't have to go through maybe. But he went out there and he said, I'm going to be the best golfer out there. I'm not worried about being the best black golfer, being the first black golfer, this, that. I'm going to go out there and be the best golfer I could be with the chips forward they made. Now, if the parameter of your top 10 or who went through the trials and tribulations, then you kind of can't put Jordan on that list because there were many before him and many accomplished a lot before he did. Now, he may have marketed himself great.
Whoa. How many dudes are walking around with 6 titles, unblemished in 6 trips to the finals, with 6 NBA Finals MVP, and universally recognized as the best ever?
I'm not going to argue with you that he's not the best ever. Best we're ever going to see. But you can't say that Tiger Woods isn't the best golfer that you're going to see.
Well, wait a minute. We can sit there and say that he's the best golfer, but in the same breath, when you're talking about black athletes, 50 greatest athletes, I'm allowed to take into consideration some of the greatest who have ever done what they've done in their respective sport and the adverse circumstances under which they lived, as opposed to Tiger Woods, who shunned and dismissed himself from that kind of situation. I'm allowed to do that.
You absolutely could.
While still recognizing that he's the greatest golfer ever.
If you're going to wrap it all up in there, and then also in that top 10, I didn't even hear one person even mention. I heard Doug Williams, which, like I said, first Black Super Bowl win.
Yeah, but he's not one of the top 50 all time.
No, he's definitely not. But what about Bo Jackson?
Bo Jackson's up there. Deion Sanders is up there.
Athlete. I mean, he might be a top 10 candidate.
He is a top 10 candidate, sir. We were talking about the top 5.
I didn't hear him in your top 10 initially. That's why.
Let's also go with this. I'm also questioning whether or not a golfer's an athlete. So it's the combination of those two things working against Tiger, whereas there's no question that Jordan was an athlete. Then you got the Bill Russells.
Because I'm not sure about that either.
Now listen, then you got the Bill Russells, you got the Jackie Robinsons, you've got Jesse Owens, you've got Serena Williams, you got Muhammad Ali. Hey, I mean, you got to look at that too.
Crack, I admit it. It's
all right.
Time to crack.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Robert. You're live with Stephen A. You only got a minute, Robert. Go ahead.
Hey, real quick, Stephen A., big fan. Just want to say this, man. I'm kind of annoyed by the take that you have on Kaepernick and the fact that he quit on the 49ers. That is definitely not the case. There's been
hold on. That wasn't my take. I revealed what folks called me about and were saying, and I asked a question.
Right. But one of your own colleagues have written a story that basically said he was going to get cut anyways. John Lynch on Sirius XM radio pretty much stated it. Shanahan's on record.
Stop right there. Stop right there. If you recall, when Colin Kaepernick renegotiated or restructured his deal that would enable him to be a free agent at the end of the season, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan hadn't arrived yet.
Right, but after they have arrived,
I agree with you.
They have spoke many times about how he didn't necessarily fit the system and that he was going to get cut anyways.
Okay, I got you. I got to interrupt you because we got to get on out of here. But again, he did not create those circumstances for himself after they got there. He did it before he even knew they were going to be the ones there. That's what you have to take into consideration. That's what can't be ignored. Let's talk about it again in 22 hours. I'm signing off, but I'll be back in 22 hours from now. Until then, peace and love, everybody.
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM Channel 80 and the ESPN app.